Morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
She was like, I did all of my moves right, Mommy, and I smiled the whole time, and she hugged everybody else except for me.
Well, first at 6, a mother said she just wants an apology after her child was reportedly left out of a group hug by her dance teacher after a competition. But coming up, we'll tell you what she says happened after she brought up that issue to the teacher. That might even be more of an issue. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 61 and on Fox 61 Plus. I'm Tim Lammers.
And America Aries, good morning. Happy Thursday. Thanks for starting off your day here. We're getting started this hour with Rachel Piscatelli, an update on the weather. We're talking about today and also the all-important Friday forecast for opening day at Yarkot Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. So Friday looks much better than today.
Yep.
Today we have periods of rain. Right now, areas of drizzle, fog out there this morning, as well as some lighter rain that will push through the state late morning and early afternoon before we begin to dry out the skies. On our satellite radar picture this morning, it's a little bit deceiving. We have mostly cloudy skies. We're not seeing any green on our radar this morning, but we know that we have some wet pavement out there with some lighter drizzle. And then throughout the day today, a little bit more rain moves in late morning and early afternoon. Right now on our visibility, we're down to about 1.5 miles over in Waterbury, 2.5 over in New Haven. So while it's not impacting the roads currently, there could be some denser fog that is out there this morning. So of course you want to give yourself a little extra time to deal with that. In addition to that, you'll see that rain chance really peaks around 9-10 o'clock this morning before we gradually start to dry out the skies, although an occasional shower after about 1-2 o'clock is possible. I do think it will be drier during the second half of the day. We are a little bit warmer than this time yesterday, anywhere from 8 to about 11 degrees warmer. Our numbers are sitting in the upper 30s out the door this morning to the 40s. Mid 40s over in New Haven now and 43 in Chester. And temperatures today will move into the 60s in the afternoon, the upper 50s along the shoreline, 61 degrees closer to Colchester, 63 in Windham, and we're around 60 degrees Norwich, Pomfret, and Killingly. Vernon around 63 as well. We'll detail out where we go from here. We'll talk about that Friday forecast plus the weekend coming up in just around 15 minutes. As we check in with the roads this morning, I'll show you that wet pavement that we have out there. We also have that fog. So over in Windsor Locks along 91, some areas of some fog there, and as well as 84 Vernon. Pockets of more moderate fog over in Simsbury as well as Granby. Over in New Haven this morning, a live look outside showing you that wet pavement, although volume is light. West Hartford more of the same. So give yourself a little extra time. Those windshield wipers will certainly be needed this morning. Tim and Erica.
Rachel, thanks.
Well, all products imported into the U.S. will be subject to a minimum tariff of 10% starting on Saturday.
President Donald Trump released his plan yesterday. Dozens of other nations will face higher rates known as reciprocal tariffs. For example, all imports from China are going to face a 34% tariff, the European Union 20%, and South Korea 25%. The White House says the pressure of tariffs will force manufacturers to return to the U.S.
If you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America.
A lawmaker spoke up about the new tariffs. 51 senators voted in favor of a resolution to call for the termination of the national emergency to impose a 25% tariff on imports from Canada.
This administration came in the door saying they would lower costs and ease burdens on American families. These tariffs would do the exact opposite.
Economists have warned that consumers could feel the pain within weeks. And President Trump's plan for new tariffs is getting mixed reaction, as you may expect.
Yeah, now some members of the Trump administration have said there will be some short-term pain in order to get to some long-term gains. But many people here in Connecticut are worried about that short-term pain part because they're already having to stretch their dollars further and further. So let's get out to Fox 61's Keith McGilvery. He is in Hartford with more details. Good morning.
Tim and Erica, good morning. We are live at the grocery on Broad here in Hartford's Frog Hollow neighborhood. We were live here just about a year ago when this place opened, and by design was created to serve people with mixed incomes in this community. A whole bunch of folks turned out here Wednesday to gather. They were opposed to the president's plan on tariffs here, saying that it would not be good. That plan calling for tariffs, to Tim's point, that would go into effect Saturday, 10% on all imported goods, and reciprocal tariffs on 60 countries the president says are not fair trading partners. We heard from Hartford Mayor Runan Arulampalam as well as Ben Dubau. Ben runs the nonprofit that oversees the grocery store here. Both said this would not be good for your receipt.
We're not here to make a political statement. We're here to make a human statement. This is enough for our families. They have borne as much as they can, and we need to do everything we can to make the price of basic groceries more affordable.
We're concerned as we look at particularly our produce and other things that the tariffs, particularly on Canada and Mexico, are going to increase prices in ways that will be detrimental to people, to our neighbors, to this neighborhood.
President Trump and his supporters defended the plan from the White House. The president said Wednesday foreign nations will finally be asked to pay for the privilege of access to our market, the biggest market in the world.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy.
The White House said the move will lead companies to do more of their manufacturing here in the United States. Some economists say that could take years, and these tariffs impacting much more than what you'll buy at the grocery store. Effective today, a 25% tariff on imported cars from around the world. Coming up at 7 o'clock, we will hear from Governor Lamont and what he had to say about all of this. But for now, in a wet, rainy Hartford, where you'll need your raincoat this morning, I'm Keith McGilfrey, Fox 61.
Keith, thanks so much for the update there. Appreciate it. Well, meantime, at 6:06, neighbors in one New Haven community want to make their roads safer, specifically one intersection that's seen several crashes over the past few years.
Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is live in New Haven with the solutions that city leaders and neighbors discussed. Good morning, Glenn.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Good morning, Eric. I'm here at the intersection of Willow Street, and that is where the national nonprofit Strong Towns has found that there have been 177 crashes on these roads, 28 of which happening right here at this intersection. Neighbors and city leaders asked the Strong Towns to figure out why there are so many crashes and how to prevent them. Volunteers from the community took these photos and videos of the area, and on Wednesday evening, Strong Towns met with New Haven City Council and neighbors. A couple of the reasons Strong Towns said crashes happen here are drivers' speed, and during Wednesday's meeting, Peter Clark, who lives in the area, shared his concerns.
So I live right in the neighborhood, very close to here. I drive and walk through here all the time. Since people are driving fast on Willow, that might make it harder to judge how long a driver on Willow might take to get to you, because you might expect someone to be coming a bit slower based on the size of the street and everything, but people are driving pretty fast down Willow.
Community members suggested the city add large speed bumps, repaint sidewalks, and bump out the sidewalks. They also want to cut down some of the trees in the area to give drivers a little better look at the intersection. Now, as of right now, these are just suggestions. Nothing has been decided yet, and Strong Towns plans to do studies on 2 more sections of town and conduct surveys to get feedback from the community. Reporting live in New Haven, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Glenn, thank you for that report. Well, look at this video here. I know we got to it a little late, but looks like somebody was a little late hitting the brake as a car sort of smashed into a smoke shop in West Haven. This is yesterday on Boston Post Road, yesterday afternoon. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules spoke with that store owner about what happened.
The owner of the store says the moments during and after the crash were terrifying, as he feared for everyone's safety. In this video, you can see a driver crash into the front of Pufftown, a smoke shop in West Haven. Orange police say first responders were called to the plaza on Boston Road when a 71-year-old driver crashed into the building. The crash also damaged the windows of the neighboring store, Magic Nick. Fethi Iran, the owner of Pufftown, says he's thankful the driver is okay and that no one was standing outside in front of the store.
For 2 seconds, I was like shocked because it was a big sound and the lady crashed into the window. I saw the car right by the window and the smashes of those small glasses, and they were coming down. So we ran out to the lady, and the door was open. She opened the door. I asked her if she's okay or not. She said, I'm fine.
The car did not go through the building and no injuries were reported. Both Pufftown and Magic Nails will be able to remain open as repairs to the building and the windows continue. In West Haven, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thank you. Well, there are some questions this morning about what happened on stage at a dance performance in this viral video. A mother says she wants answers. She says her daughter, who is Black, was left out of a group hug when her teacher came up onto the stage and embraced her students.
Well, Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot has more of that video. She also spoke with a mother who said she's upset at what she believes happened.
Gut-wrenching is how Melissa Breglia described feeling watching her 9-year-old daughter appear to be left out of a hug by her dance studio teacher at a competition in Hartford. That scene was all captured on video and has since gone viral. Melissa Breglia says her 9-year-old daughter deserves an apology. On Sunday, March 23rd, at a dance recital in Hartford, she says her daughter was left out of a hug from her dance teacher. Video from the recital captures when her teacher comes up on stage. The teacher appears to hug 3 other girls on stage, but not Breglia's daughter. Breglia's 9-year-old daughter, Shania, was crushed after it all happened. The next day, Breglia says her daughters, her 9-year-old and her 11-year-old, were both released from Dance Expressions in Plainville.
She was like, I did all of my moves right, Mommy, and I smiled the whole time, and she hugged everybody else except for me. Due to aggressive behavior, I have breached the contract, and because of a breach of contract, your children will be dismissed from our company and zero refund.
I did go to Dance Expressions dance studio to speak with someone, but was told they had no comment. Breglia tells me she has received support from all over the world, including Australia. In Hartford, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.